What's good? First off, I want to say rest in peace, Pernell Sweet Pea Whitaker. I grew up watching his fights, and when we found out the news that he died, actually, my sister and my dad called me. They're like, "Did you hear about this?" And it was a really big deal because I grew up watching the fight with Chavez and De La Hoya, and I would actually be the one arguing that it was Whitaker that won those fights, and they'd be like, "Oh, he made the fight," or Chavez or De La Hoya made the fight. And I was like, "Yeah, but Whitaker dominated those fights." I don't think he dominated Oscar. I think he won it very closely, but I think he dominated Chavez for sure. I actually finally convinced my dad that that Whitaker actually deserved the nod for that fight. But from one great southpaw to another, um, Pacquiao, man, truly a pleasure to watch him. What a special fighter. Man, this guy's 40 years old and he's whooping guys 10 years younger than him. All I could think of was imagine a 30-year-old Pacquiao against these guys. These guys wouldn't stand a chance, man. This is making me think like only truly great fighters like Floyd Mayweather would beat Pacquiao in his prime. Because he beat some great fighters. He beat Marquez, De La Hoya, Cotto. He beat these guys in his prime, and they were great fighters. So it would take a truly great fighter like Mayweather in 2009 to beat Pacquiao in 2009. But these guys, they can't match him. It's like Tyson would say, how dare these mere mortals compare themselves to me? How dare Keith Thurman talk about this old man Pacquiao when he's not even close to his level? Thurman in his prime didn't stand a chance against Pacquiao's speed, his footwork, his combinations. Man, oh my goodness. It's marvelous, man. And it's a pleasure to watch him fight. Like every time I say, like I watch Lomachenko and I watch him and I think, man, I'm watching history. And like I've said it before, I didn't get to appreciate Pacquiao in his prime because, yeah, I was a Pacquiao hater, but I learned to appreciate him as a great fighter. And yeah, today, whew, I appreciate him. uh, Yeah, he was just too fast. His footwork, his angles. He dropped Thurman in the first round, and I was like, oh, I really did not expect that to happen. I thought Thurman might be able to box from the outside, but I think from that moment, Thurman couldn't box effectively because he was afraid of getting countered while he was backing up. And at one point, Pacquiao hurt him to the body, as Thurman usually does sometimes. But I thought, oh, come on, Pac, come on, Pac, come on, Pac. And maybe even if it was like 5 years earlier, he might have dropped him again, maybe even stopped him at that point. But he didn't have enough to stop Thurman there to even drop him at that point. But in his prime, Pacquiao in his prime, these mere mortals don't stand a chance against this man. Pacquiao still has enough to beat the the third, maybe second best welterweight in the world. No, it's easily Spence and Crawford are one and two, but he beat the third best welterweight in the world. I'm not gonna say with ease because he did get caught quite a few times, but he was never rocked, and he never even lost a round super clearly. I guess you could say like the eighth round, but that was it. He lost one round clearly. I gave him Keith 4 rounds, but that's debatable even. So split decision was ridiculous. By the way, I don't think Thurman did enough to win even 5 rounds, let alone 7 rounds. But the right man won, so I'm glad that happened. I would really love to see Crawford versus Pacquiao because Crawford is a gifted fighter, and I would love to see Pacquiao pass the torch to him, or if Spence beats Porter, I'd love to see that fight because I think Spence is gifted, but not as gifted and special as Crawford is. So, yeah, Pacquiao still got it, man. And at this point, if he wants to retire, then he can, but why? Why retire when you're still this good at what you do? Thanks everybody for watching. What did you guys think? Who should Pacquiao fight next? Peace.